one. Welcome! Hello, everyone! Guess what? Welcome. Actually, I'm supposed to say hello and welcome, Wayward Gamers. Thank you for joining us. I am your host, Jay, also known as Neopet3 on the gamer, on the socials and everything else. But enough about me. We're going to talk to our wonderful players. They're going to tell us who they're playing tonight, and we're going to dive right in to another adventure of babysitting, Dragon Worm Edition, Part 2. But to our left, actually, yes, to my left, actually, it's to my right, maybe? I don't. Carrie, who are you playing?
I am playing Byrnn, and I am a half-elf who is in a bad mood most of the time. She is a rogue, and she loves these guys. She really does. No, really. She does.
I think she loves the dragon more.
Oh, yeah.
100%. No, I mean, that's not in question, of course.
Rocky,
not worth saying.
Yeah.
Rocky is her boo.
Yes. Thank you so much. Jeff, who are you playing tonight?
I'm Jeff, and I'm playing Aviro Starborn, who's also usually in a bad mood.
For different reasons.
Different reasons. Because he's dirty.
Cold and can't get his tent up.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't like being wet, except for if he's in a bath. He's our high elf wizard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Speaking of people who are also in a bad mood, take it, Jim.
Oh, thank you for the intro.
Wow.
That's inspiration for everyone.
Wow, everybody. All right. I'm writing it down. Let's go. Thanks, Jeff.
I'm Jim, play Hawkmere1 on Twitter, and I'm playing Glastoc Steelcloak, the dwarf warrior in the group who's in a bad mood like everybody else, but he's in a bad mood because the other two are always in a bad mood. And
Got it.
Now we got to deal with this stupid dragon.
Well,
if you ever call him that, I swear to God.
That's Jim talking, not Glastoc.
Just to give and I am Jay, your wonderful GM for this wonderful experience. A few things before we start off. We are on the board for the Wayward Gamer, our primary game right now, but we do have a twin, a fraternal twin I like to call, because we are the Saltmarsh Legends, and on Tuesdays, every other Tuesday on MTD is the Legends of Saltmarsh. It is a shared universe, and spoilers between. One is set in a village, this one is set 150 years in the future of that. So what happens there could affect here, and vice versa. We've seen some spoilery thing back and forth. So currently, episodes 1 through 5 are on our YouTube channel, and you can check them out here or highlights here. So please feel free to like and subscribe and do all that other wonderful things about that. Now, before we get started too, there is one thing that we like to talk about. Well, we don't like to talk about, but we find it important to talk about. A lot of our community friends bring this up, and we want to make sure that you are okay. Mental health these days are very important. And even though if you don't feel okay, there is someone out there or somewhere to go to help you feel okay. In the chat, you'll see an I help. It should be able to give you some links to, if you need help, please go get some, however you can, because you matter to all of us. We're a community, and we want to make sure everyone in the community is good and healthy. So please do that.
Therapy is awesome, and I honestly think everybody on this entire planet could benefit from therapy, except maybe the Dalai Lama, because he's the only person I can think of who's kind of
tip top.
He's on that tip top.
Yeah.
Facts.
So with that, a little bit of a quick recap where we're at. We are in the city of Saltmarsh, 250 years since the beginning, 150 years since the village that most of you have seen. Our wonderful adventurers are part of the Adventurers Guild, and in their most recent job, they went to the mine, abandoned dwarven mines. They came back and were given the charge of a baby, or actually a wormling black dragon, whose long name has been reduced down to Rocky, who has a backpack, actually a box that he lives in. It's a dimensional space box.
It's a palatial estate. Let's just call it what
It's
it is.
bigger on the inside.
Bigger on the inside, yeah. Basically the shenanigans has ensued because they went back to the city with a dragon in tow hiding. And the first night, only a few things happened to the room. And he's feeding about a cow a day or a cat, an animal a day. So there might be a few questions. But we pick up our wonderful, it is midday. The mornings, Glastoc went on a shopping spree to go south. Aviro went on a library spree, which both will be in the VODs because we played that out. They're an hour-long adventure of what happened.
Whoa.
So those will be added then, and they'll be actually added to episode 5 and separate. So you can check out those spoilers.
Jay,
yes.
Why didn't I get a bonus session?
Because you didn't ask.
Oh.
Too busy playing with your dragon.
Well, Jay, why don't you go ahead and talk to him about why I didn't get a bonus session?
Because it's not your turn yet.
It's fair. I did get a bonus session, you bastards.
Yes, she did.
Just top secret.
We know. We saw the gif of you flipping out.
That's something different. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah.
So, it is the afternoon. The weather is getting a little bit chilly. It's rainy, cloudy. There were some adventures last night, so it's getting a little bit, and that's where we're picking up is that they just met with a direct commission. It appears that there's a councilman that's looking for some evidence on the lizard folk, and they're debating on what to do. And there's an outpost supposedly that hasn't been heard from, that they're going to go check out in the swamp. That Aviro doesn't like water. That's full of it. So what could happen? So you're still in Saltmarsh. You still got a day to prep. It's in the afternoon. You just finished meeting. You're sitting around the wicked goat. What would you like to do?
So Glastoc turns and looks at Aviro and goes, okay, Byrnn and I have already talked about this. We know you don't like the idea.
Nope.
But we're going to go back to the Adventurers Guild. We're going to take the strawberry job or whatever it was, the one that you wanted us to do the very first day we went there. But that's not what we're doing.
The foraging job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're going straight for the outpost, and we're going to try to figure out what's going on our own without people knowing about it.
All right. But we're also going to do the foraging job.
Yes, we're going to do the foraging job.
All right.
Yeah.
I accept.
Okay, good. So
That'll work.
That was easy.
I kind of look over at Glastoc, and I'm just like,
Aviro just came back from the library. He had a wonderful time. He's feeling great.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I think I mentioned this, but I think I can get us a pretty good price on those missile snaring gloves.
Ooh.
really? How'd you manage that?
Well, I stopped in at the curio shop when I was out taking care of some other business, and the very nice lady there offered me $1,600 for them. But
as soon as Glastoc says "very nice lady," I want an insight check and please.
Yeah, I believe you already have on that.
Have I on that one?
You did originally last episode. You did do that.
Oh,
Yes.
You're right. I apologize. Well,
No, that's fine. And he was telling.
I'm telling the truth.
That
Yeah,
he would not have any escapades.
improper.
God,
It's proper or improper. It's just
Also-
escapades.
it
Yes.
depends on who it is. Hey,
Yes.
yo.
But yeah,
All right.
I can get $1,600 for them. So
Wow. Well, that's great, Glastoc. Nice job.
Yeah.
Oh, I said next drink is on me, boys.
if you think there's any extra supplies that we need, I mean, I still got a crap ton of rations left over from the mine job, so I think we're good on rations.
Yeah.
So
I'm all set on arrows and everything. I guess I could use some armor.
armor. Actually, you know what?
Nicer armor.
I know just the place to take you.
I thought we could
think I
make a
would
stop
like to-
there before the end of the day.
I want to see if I can copy some more spells into my spell book. Go.
Okay.
Well, we've got this lightning lure one if you want to.
I don't want that one.
Oh, okay.
I know how that works. I
Good to
don't
know. Good to know.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jay.
I was going to say, Aviro, you could spend the rest of the afternoon and a good chunk of the evening putting spells in. So whatever you want in that process. So that's going to take a good chunk of your time besides dinner and that any evening carousing.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
So we'll so Glastoc, you're going to take to the armor.
Yeah, we'll go by what's his name, the trader first, and
Who's the traitor?
no trader.
Trader.
Since I've already have a rapport with him,
Okay.
and we'll check what he has in stock, and then see if he has any recommendations for Byrnn.
Okay. So as you're making your way down to it is Radix General Store, number 12. And it's going to take you a little bit. And again, so as you're walking down the main road, you're passing several of the large temples. You can see over to your left the cliff that goes down to where the harbor is, and you can see a lot of the warehouses in them. Some ships are coming in and going at the time. And again, it's looking like it's going to be probably not a rainy night, but it's definitely the clouds are coming in. So probably within the next day or two, there's a storm brewing just to keep you.
Of course there is.
Why would
We're gonna go in the swamp.
Storm.
Let's go in while it's raining.
Well,
As it should be.
Yep. So as you're heading there, you are heading down. Like I said, there's a lot of different vendors. There's some adventurers. You've got your thing. People are posting up signs that a carnival's coming to town. So there's like a lot of different activities kind of going around. And it takes you about 20 minutes or so as you're heading down to the armor, because if I remember correctly, it's number 16. I got to double check my map here.
Yeah, and which one's the curio shop? Was that 19?
30, if I recall.
Oh, 30. Okay.
So let me double back up. So, nope, actually, I am incorrect. So the armor shop was it the anvil?
Yeah, but she can't wear metal armor. She's gonna want light armor, so it'll be like a leather worker.
Yeah.
Got it. There is there's the tailoring guild, but
That's why we want to go to Reddick first.
okay.
Yeah.
So as you're heading to Reddick, and the curio shop is 33, just to double check.
Okay.
So it's right by one of the bridges.
Okay.
Road. So as you're heading over to Riddick, so you're Raddick, excuse me, it's Radric, so to speak. So you're heading over there, and you come across, and you're like, the doors are open, and people are kind of coming and going. Like I said, you've been here a few times, so you know the routine, you know what's in here.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, someone comes up, one of his helpers kind of comes up and is like, human, male, probably in his early 20s, late teens, an 19-ish. You look, scraggly hair. It's definitely, this is his first job type situation. He's got the apron on, and he's like,
Perfect.
he kind of comes up and he's like,
Nice.
hello, welcome to Radix General Store. Oh, sorry. My name is Saman, and how can I help you?
My wiry friend here could use a better set of armor. This way, please. And he just nervously starts walking a little bit towards you. And
Glastoc, he's stunned by your beauty.
Yeah, well, I do have an 18 charisma.
I mean,
Stunned by your
more,
beauty.
more charisma than I have. So it must be you.
And as he's kind of moving along, and you see the dwarf Raddick behind the counter dealing with, and he makes eye contact with you, Glastoc, and he notices that you're back already, and he's kind of like going to be intrigued about. And so this clerk helper kind of comes up and shows you, So we have armor here. This is our leather armor section, and he kind of looks at Byrnn and is kind of giving you that look on the side a little, kind of shape, and he's like, and then just immediately turns like he got caught looking, and he's like,
I make eye contact with Glastoc, and I just kind of like shrug.
and he goes, and so we have some chain shirt here, and our heavy armor is over here. And
excuse me.
Yes.
I'm kind of more looking for something lighter, light armor, hide maybe. If you have anything that looks nicer than what I'm wearing.
Yes, right here, and he kind of moves something. Let me go check in the back, and he stumbles around, and he's going to be gone for a minute or two.
I lead the Glastoc, and I'm like, if I hadn't helped.
Yeah, I totally understand.
I'm sure you do.
No, it's not for the same reasons as you. People look at dwarves.
I just sort of sit. Oh, go ahead.
They make assumptions about dwarves.
And Byrnn laughs, having heard the tales.
While most of them are true.
This is in like the back aisle of a Nike, like the shoe section of Nike. So it's kind of skinny, and Byrnn just sits down on like a little mini bench and takes a little nip off of her flask and just is sort of waiting for this kid to come back.
In about 2.5 minutes, Radek himself kind of comes up, and he's got a few pieces of armor. He's like, Glastoc, welcome back.
Reddick, my old friend, how are you, sir?
I'm so sorry for that. Training good help. I'm sorry about that. I've got it now. So what are you looking for? And did everything work out this morning?
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Excellent. Good.
Yeah.
Mr. Byrnn, how can we service you today? What can we get on your what can we help you purchase?
Yes. I'm looking for some light armor. Maybe something a little bit more hearty than what I'm wearing. I can't afford to be too weighed down,
I understand that.
Yeah.
Nimble individuals like ourselves, we have to can't be bogged down too heavy. We got to be able to make those quick moves, so to speak.
Yes, very much. And I kind of look over at Glastoc. I'm like, I like this one.
Yes. Well, let's see. What are you currently wearing?
So I'm wearing light armor. I've been trying to figure it out frantically as we have been doing
Probably
this.
Just straight leather armor.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Like if I could get if I could somehow get like another 1 on my AC or a 2 maybe.
Studded leather would be a plus
Studded
one.
leather would be phenomenal.
Studded leather, it's 12 plus your dex, so that's and
Great.
it shows you some very nice crafted studded leather pieces. He's like, if you're going for something a little bit medium, I mean, is medium armor going to be a little too I've got this chain shirt here that's
No, too heavy for her.
too heavy. Okay.
That's a little too heavy.
The hide armor, it's more barbarian hide. I'm not carrying anything nice hide yet.
Yeah, I don't have any use for barbarians.
Yes.
Not on Wednesday nights.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you.
Dun.
Sorry.
For those that don't know,
No.
Carrie's in another campaign playing a wonderful barbarian located on MTD. Check it out.
Monday nights.
Subscribe to Squirrels, because we like
that chain shirt is too heavy for me. My slight self.
No worries. Yeah, we've got this one. It's going for 50 gold.
Well, that sounds like it's in my price range. And I look at what he's showing me. Is it studded leather?
Yeah, it's studded leather.
Perfect. I said, ooh. Well, that is very.
How about, because we're going to be repeat customers for multiple items.
I was wondering when this is going to be getting good. All right, come on.
Can we 40?
40? You're hitting below the belt there, man.
Well,
46?
45.
You can give me, what would you like? Persuasion? Or, yeah, I think it's it would be a persuasion roll. But I will.
Jeff. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I apologize, Jeff. Go.
With advantage. And I'm Jay, that's Jeff. But
I know I was talking to Jeff, but then I interrupted you and I reverted back to this is Jay, Jim, Jeff, and Carrie. Yeah. So that's a little bit of a rough situation for me. I was talking to Jeff. Hey, Jeff, do you remember how much we got paid for bringing the kids back from the cave? Or the one girl that we found alive?
200 each.
Yeah.
200. Okay, I was going to say, I think I wrote something down wrong.
I was going to say.
You got 300, and then you got an additional 300 divided by 3 being 200 each.
Yeah. Yeah, we have 200 each. We have 200
right. Okay. Whew. I was going to say, I wrote something down wrong then. Okay. I am golden.
Okay.
Literally.
So, do you say persuasion?
Yeah. Let's go with the persuasion check, but advantage because you have a repeat customer. You said the exact correct thing, and he does like you because.
Okay.
Aw.
And there's the one. Thankfully,
add to the spreadsheet.
Thankfully, it's way because I'm at advantage. So 17.
Oh, so it doesn't count. It
doesn't count. Well, we got the one out of the way early. That's good.
Cheers.
To remind our wonderful viewers and wayward gamers, the group is called Natural Ones. The natural ones. Thank you. Because in our first session, we rolled 8 ones between us in the first hour and a half. So we like to have ones. Not. Anyways, it's all about good fun. Yeah.
So 17.
He kind of looks at you and is like, you didn't hear this? 44.
44 it is then. Perfect.
He realizes that, he's looking at it as, you know what, he did dip a little bit lower than what you had asked, but he wanted to be a little bit in that, he realized how far you came up and he was willing to kind of be in that mid-range. So.
Okay.
But
perfect.
Yeah. So he's like, anything else I can help you with? Any adventures you're going on that you need some other equipment for? You got your rations, I'm assuming. You shouldn't have gone.
Oh yeah, no.
Unless you did.
No. We're good. Actually, I do have a question for you. If we needed to purchase a large amount of raw food, fish, sides of cattle, where would you recommend?
Slaughterhouse. It's owned by the Softfish or Softfin boys.
Okay. Perfect.
It's over on where was it? It is number 222. I'll double check as the GM pulls up all this good, wonderful information at his fingertips. All right, so it is the why is that not coming up? Oh yeah, it's called the Slaughterhouse. It's number 44 on the map. So
perfect.
Nice. Yeah, he's like the Slaughterhouse. Yeah, there's 4 kids that run the place right now. They call themselves the Sawfish Boys, but they're just hooligans that are just trying to figure out what to do, causing more mischief than anything else. But they're the only slaughterhouse in town, and they that would be where I'd go.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, sir.
No problem. So, welcome.
So, Byrnn, you need anything else? You good? Arrows?
I think I'm all set.
Okay.
Tell that boy he did a great job. He's a chama, that one.
I got you. Thank you very much for being so kind.
Okay.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Oh, thank you.
And
walking down, and Byrnn is looking at her new armor as they kind of leave, and she says to Glastoc, and she's like, she says, that kid was cute. He did a good job.
And we're gonna have to get some oil or something for your leather because it's squeaking a little bit while you're walking there.
Look how pretty it is. Huh?
Oh no!
Brand
it looks
new.
great now. Just remember how it looks now.
Byrnn kind of like pulls it up. It's like it smells new even.
Smells like
New
a new
leather
car.
armor. There's nothing like the smell of new leather armor, huh?
Yeah.
Like a new baseball glove.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. So, so let's head towards the curio shop so I can unload the spell scroll and the bracers.
Okay. So
Would love to go.
So you go into the curio shop. As you're heading down, it's close. As I said, it's close to the river, not the main bridge, but one of the other side bridges,
Mhm.
and number 33 on your map. And
Oh.
as you go in, the shop seems to be surrounded by curious smells and oddities of, the gutters are bending down a little bit older. The sign above the door depicts a small little demon with the wings and a tail kind of coming around, breaking a wand over a hooded skull, and an evil spirit rising out of it. Identifying this as the curio shop, and it is, as you know, is one of 3 places where you can get magical items in town, and it is filled with strange items, magical components, spell components, alchemy items. Everything from, some weapons to wondrous items to staves to wands, potions, armor possibly. So there's a lot of different stuff here. There is for game mechanics, there's a certain amount of gold piece limit that this particular town has to be able to do. But if there's something specific that you want, there's a high probability that she could order it from somewhere, Waterdeep, Bowler's Gate, to have it come in. So there is
Have it sent here. Okay.
here and stuff like that. But
Okay.
depending on this, so the individual behind the counter, Mista is her name.
Mista.
She's kind of dealing with another customer, and as she gets done with the customer, you have to wait maybe a minute or two, and she's like, "Oh, Mr. Glastoc, is that correct?"
That is correct. Good to see you again, my dear.
Welcome back to my wonderful shop. How can I be of service? Are you interested in some items, or were you going to sell me those gloves?
Well, one of my companions has accompanied me. This is Byrnn Broadwater.
Oh dear.
Hello. Yeah.
And,
Broad River, that's
Oh,
me.
yeah.
And I like shake. I put my hand out to shake her hand.
Oh, and she kind of grabs it and turns it to the over like this a little bit. Oh, a pleasure, dearly. Oh,
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have such a strong aura, and she's holding on to your hand. She's not. She's
Ah,
like,
yeah.
oh, a strong aura.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
thank you.
And she
Mhm.
releases. And she's like,
Yeah.
welcome to my shop.
Thank you very much.
How can I be of assistance?
She's kind of like Trelawney from Harry Potter. She's
Oh God. Now I'm totally seeing what was the actress's name?
Yes. Oh my God. Well,
Emma
I'll
Thompson.
look it up.
Emma
I'll
Thompson.
look it up.
Thompson. Thompson.
Yes.
Yes.
Big glasses and
Thick glasses, flowers
She's
everywhere.
Actually, she's actually a semi-attractive, very long-haired, very tight, reddish and dark dress that goes all the way down. Few nice ornaments. She has a nice necklace on, some earrings, dark complexion. So, but she's just like, yes, and how can I be of assistance? What can I get? What are you proving? Anything special? Anything specific I could get you?
so Glastoc pulls the spell scroll and the gloves out and puts them on the counter and says, we discussed a price earlier, and I believe we wish to sell them.
Well, I gave you a range. We could talk more about that, but this is new. And she kind of pulls up the scroll a little bit. May I?
Oh,
And
please.
she kind of looks like, oh, oh, yes. Oh, very nicely written paper. Oh, very. And she kind of ties it back up and says, are you sure you want to get rid of that one?
Oh, yes. Unfortunately, our traveling companion doesn't have use for such spells.
Oh my, someone should just scold him for such leaving magic to be.
I will.
And Glastoc turns and looks at Bryn.
One person's magical school is another person's magical school.
Hmm.
Excellent. Well, as we discussed, it was 15 to 1600 gold for these wonderful pair of gloves. Now, that was a free identification for you as well. So, but
which I paid for.
oh, 1 gold? Yes.
What rate? Oh my god. Okay, can we insight check him with this bitch?
Yes.
Please? Okay, great. Separate insight check for Glastoc and
It's
all his
the
ladies.
same person, so
Yeah.
Oh, well, I got a 14.
yeah.
It's the same
Nothing
one.
happened.
Yeah, nothing happened.
All right. Sorry, I thought this was the two different places. Anyway,
this is
okay, I am just kind of like at Glastoc this whole time, and I'm just kind of like staying quiet and staying in the back.
So, so where did you find these? So, if I'm going to be selling them, I should probably know a little bit of the history that it came from.
Oh, we were poking around in the old abandoned mines looking for some lost people, and
Abandoned mines. Okay.
came across the owner of these gloves who didn't appreciate us poking around. Let's just call it that.
You met the owner? The owner's dead?
And I turn and
He
look
is
at Bryn
now.
again. Yeah.
Well, it's a very long story. Trust. What race is this woman?
She's human.
Oh,
appears to
damn
be
it.
human.
Well, okay. Well, shit. So I just kind of like, it's like, rest assured, we did nothing untoward to get these gloves. Glastoc is a very honorable man. I'm sure you can already tell. But yeah, we did get them out of the dwarven mine and on our adventures with the Adventurers Guild.
Yes.
So we came upon them by virtuous means.
I'm going to assume they were on a goblin's hand from the smell of it.
Oh,
That
yeah.
would be great. That would be great for you to assume.
Yes. Well, there will be including the small cleaning fee to ensure that the gloves will be properly resold.
Me.
Does taking that, we'll need to adjust a slight amount. Again, I'm looking at probably 1480.
Hmm.
Let me turn talk to Bryn.
I turn to Glastoc and I'm like, it's got to be a number divisible by 3. That's all I'm saying. No reason. I'm just saying if you can make it 1500.
Why? There's only 2 of us here.
You are a I kind of like look at Glastoc and I'm like, I have never respected you more. And I just kind of say, I'm like, but really, Aviro is trying his best. We should push for 1500. I kind of turn around and at Glastoc's resistance, I'm like, dear,
Yes.
thank you so much for I have to admit, your shop is one of the most wondrous things I have ever seen. Look at all these glorious
Yes,
artifacts from around the world.
I pride myself on good materials. It takes a good keen eye, and adventurers like you coming and going, purchasing and selling. It makes trade so.
Clearly. Mr.
Glastoc. I'm sorry. Please.
I'm
please
sorry.
continue.
Yes, me and Glastoc are
Understood.
a team.
And her.
We were hoping, and he maybe has misinterpreted your message slightly. He told us that you were promising in the ballpark of 1600. No.
Yes.
I was as shocked as you are. 1600 is so much. Would you be willing to part with 1500? 1600 is too much. I understand. if we could part with 1,500, you could be doing us and the Adventurers Guild as a whole
Oh,
a great service.
let me think. And are you wanting to sell this scroll as well?
Oh yeah.
I nod. Yep.
Hmm.
You not gonna make them roll a persuasion roll?
Oh, I am. I'm just prolonging it.
We are on the same side, Jeff.
Divisible by 3, huh?
I am dividing by 3. Somebody isn't. I'm helping.
If you would like to make a persuasion check
Okay.
with advantage because
Hey.
of the wonderful RP. Because I break rules,
Yep.
so you know.
Alrighty, here we go, baby. Okay. Persuasion is a 17.
Ooh, that's good.
You roll twice. You're rolling with advantage, so you roll again and take the higher roll.
I know what I'm doing.
Oh,
I got
okay.
A 6 and a 13.
I didn't know you
I
rolled 2
added-
dice.
Ladies and gentlemen, 101, D&D 101 on advantage rolls. You roll twice according to Glastoc.
It's like when you're arm wrestling and somebody's like, you should start pushing now.
I apologize. I didn't realize you rolled 2 d20.
Oh my god, that was hilarious.
It's fine.
That was funny.
Did you just mansplain D&D
Yes.
to me?
Glastoc man.
Wow.
And
Sorry.
Mista is like, oh, and she kind of gets a little bit closer. It's like, I understand that sometimes the equation's a little bit boasted on this. I don't take offense to it at all. How about this? I will give you 1590 for the all of it.
That would be absolutely ideal. I cannot thank you enough.
But
Rest assured, you have a repeat customer on your
that is one of
hands.
the requirements. You must come back and purchase something.
Mm.
Or if you find something on your adventures, please stop here first.
Oh,
Can I
you know we will.
Oh, excellent. Can I interest you in any healing potions or, flasks of acid or alchemist fire? Even maybe I think I've got a potion of haste here somewhere.
Well, I mean, with that extra 90, and I look over at Glastoc, I'm like, I could take a potion of healing. Glastoc, you might pick something for yourself, and I'll pick something for Aviro, eh?
Oh, sounds good to me.
All right.
I think that's an ideal situation.
So
Glastoc remembering he has a potion of healing that we already.
Yeah, but we're trying to be nice.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll buy a potion of healing.
Great.
It's not like I can't cast cure wounds on
Hey,
myself
listen,
anyway.
they don't fucking go bad, man.
And as she's actually the glass is a nice. She takes one of the flasks, and it's your sturdy kind of flask, which is and she takes a little ribbon out and starts wrapping the ribbon around each of the
Artisan.
each of the small little flasks that are there, tubes and stuff like that, and it's like, now these were crafted and brewed from our shop in the back. It's got a little bit of strawberry tinge just to make it more palatable.
That's very pretty, if nothing else. Thank you.
You're welcome. Please. So, and she kind of says, so 1590 minus 150 for the 3. You said 3 healing potions, right?
Yes, please.
So she gives because I can do math. We're looking at
1440.
1440. Yep. So
Attaboy.
it was, and she's kind of sets
A
that out.
plus.
Again, thank you so much for coming. And the bell rings from the door. She's like, come back again. If you excuse me, I have to leave now. And again, have a good day. And she kind of moves over to the next customer. She's like, welcome to the curio shop. And goes into this wonderful introduction of.
It's the same one she gave us when we walked in.
More or less that.
100%.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Obviously.
You're pretty
And
sure she's got about 4 different lines that she tailors depending on who comes through the door.
Right.
I leaned to a Glastoc on the way out. I'm like, well, that was pleasant. She is a delight.
Oh yes. No. She is a interesting person.
And 1440 is also divisible by 9.
Yes.
Or by 3, rather.
Yep.
Yeah. So Aviro gets 480, you get 480, and I get 480.
Yep.
Math. I also get to drink. If I don't get to drink, I'm gonna freak out.
Well, is there when I was out before, did I notice another tavern anywhere near the forge?
Yeah, there's probably something in that area. The one thing I didn't pull up was my quick reference sheet because, I've got so much up. So I have to remember where it's the anvil, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So the anvil is okay. So on the way there is the lizard's boat inn and tavern. It's a large one right there. So yeah, you can definitely grab a drink there.
Good. Let's
the
get
lizard's
her
boat.
Yes.
So Glastoc, what kind of food do they have?
Unknown. I haven't been in here yet.
Ooh.
So it could be an adventure.
Are there other people out on the street?
Oh yeah.
I wanna pull some guy off to the side and be like, Oi, do you know what food they have here?
At the inn right here?
Yeah, what kind of food?
I don't know. Food, probably.
They got like a beer. Can you get a bunch of little beers?
Beers, yeah. So that's my understanding. Anyways, do you need me for something?
Great, thanks. I flick him. Nope, I flick him a silver.
Alrighty, thank you. And he just kind of keeps going.
Thank you. See, that's how you become a person of the people, Glastoc.
So as you're rounding the corner to this wonderful...
He's just shaking his head as Brynn's walking in front of him.
This is awesome.
Yep.
Beautiful. You look over at this building, and you see a sign the built, and it seems to have been built out of sailing ships.
Ooh.
And there's a fire that hangs from the main entrance, and a sign basically saying the lizard boat. But the thing there's about a half a dozen small little lizards perched all over the signs and everything else that are just kind of snapping at flies and different things throughout the day. They're more or less kind of out of the sun, but they're not moving. They're just kind of, which that's one of the interesting things about this particular building. It's a 2-story building. It's got an inn. There's several rooms in here.
Glastoc just keeps pushing Byrnn through the door. No more pets for you.
And I kind of am like, as soon as Byrnn sees these, she's like, oh, and I imagine as soon as she goes up an octave, Glastoc is like, nope.
The interesting thing, there's a few small continuous flames that attract the mosquitoes. That's what the lizards are just kind of like eating off of and everything else.
Awesome.
But again, the ship's rigging is basically, it also kind of attracts moths but the lizards kind of are there to kind of keep things cool. It's fairly clean in here, and it's a relatively comfortable establishment of a inn, your standard looking inn. The other interesting thing is it's your middle class type tavern. It has lizard motifs or motifs all around. So the visitors come in, there's carved lizards on the bar, on the walls. There's lizards painted in the dishes and the tables. And the bar serves, you can see, a large range of different ales. One thing that does note is one called Blue Frog Ale, which is from the local brewery here. But it has all manners of seafood and bread. What you see behind the bar is an elven woman that's aproned. She looks like she's been in the wilds, definitely. She's got some scars a little bit. Her left hand seems to be a little. It's gone.
Okay.
So she actually is missing her left hand.
Wow.
But she's serving up. She kind of uses it, doing it for. She's got a little bit of a staff. The one thing you also know after you come in, and you're kind of looking around, you hear this behind you, above you. You hear this. As you look up and you see a giant lizard laying on a perch above the door.
Oh.
And you're pretty sure, and there's a little nameplate that says Sticktooth.
Oh.
And owner.
Owner. Oh my God. It's like that town in Alaska whose mayor is a cat. I love it. It's so charming. And I'm like, as soon as
Glastoc just keeps heading towards a table and dragging Byrnn along with him.
as soon as Byrnn sees this, Byrnn turns around, even though Glastoc is kind of like dragging her, and she goes, and she like goes, sir, and then like just kind of continues to follow Glastoc, and it's like, you're being a party pooper.
No, I'm just trying to keep you safe. Turns towards the lady behind the bar and says, 2 of your best ales, and then sits down at a table.
I would also like to try a tiny one of everything, a flight if you do them.
Flight? I haven't done a flight yet, but I think I could get maybe a little bit. Welcome to the Lizard's Boat. I am Carly, your owner and proprietor here, former adventurer, but she's got a little bit of an accent, and even though I'm doing it horrible right now, I'm trying to find exactly what her she's, like I said, astute elven female. She still wears like comfortable clothing, almost not armor, but definitely you could tell she's in the more of a rangerish motif of clothing. And you're pretty sure based off of
lots of greens and browns.
Lots of greens and browns, but she loves lizards. Definitely lizards.
No.
No way.
She probably
go ahead. I apologize.
She made a good amount of money venturing and then opened this up. So there's definitely a lot of history. It's just like, all right then. So, you're looking for food as well?
Byrnn kind of smiles at this woman, and in Elvish, she would like to say a phrase that is sort of well known, and in common it translates to "You're welcome is welcome," and just kind of smiles, and then she's like, "Yeah, I mean, we could use some food. I want as for the beer, I want a porter, a red, one of those fancy blue ones you got, and an IPA."
Someone after an adventure after my own heart. Dwarf, what do you want?
They have India in
2 of your best ales.
Of course, Jeff would call me on that. Of course, Jeff. Jeff, everybody.
Jeff. Thank you.
IPA, impressive pale ale.
Yes, there's got to be something that starts with an I in Faerun. Come on.
She's like,
Imperial pale ale.
There we go. Imperial pale ale.
There we go.
I think I can get you something like that, dearie. So, all right. She's kind of waves over, and someone in the kitchen's like, order, specials. And she kind of grabs these small little, and lays like 4 or 5 different small ones, goes in.
Oof.
She kind of does a quick throw up, grab, and then just does the first pour. And then she grabs and just does the second one. She's not an artist. She she's been like practicing that one for about a year, and that's it. So, but then she just kind of pours the other ones normal, and she's like,
more impressive than the fact she's missing a hand.
Yeah.
Listen, she's bopping them up in the air.
Yeah,
it's cool.
She kind of like
get off her case,
and she kind of bopped it with her elbow in here, and then grabbed it with the other one. So,
yep.
Wait a minute, is she an elf? You said
she's an elf.
Yeah.
So she does. Elves automatically know a cantrip, so maybe she has Mage Hand helping her out.
There you go.
That excellent. Thank you for assist the GM on creating content.
Wow.
5e 101 again tonight here.
Oh, which actually later on she kind of goes over and she does a little bit of this and grabs a bottle from way over, and the bottle kind of comes over and she kind of grabs it and she goes and then starts pouring your 2 other ales. Let me know what you think of those ones, then, Diddy.
Mm-hmm. I'm just kind of sipping them. I'm not drinking any one all at once. And Byrnn is particularly curious about the blue one. So you'll notice that even though they're all kind of lined up and the blue one is in last place, she cuts the line a little bit to taste the whatever blue thing.
It's called the Blue Frog Ale. It's local here. They farm the berries out in the swamp. They bring them back.
Is that right? What's it?
A little bit tart, but then it just goes down smooth.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's phenomenal.
See? It's tricky there.
Yeah. Ooh, it tastes different after you swallow it.
It's been around for a good 100 years.
Wow. Why don't you send that all over the place? You could probably make a killing.
I don't make it. It's the local brewery. I just buy it from them. I think they do send it off to different locations. But
it's great. Well, thank you.
No problem.
Glastoc, do you want something to eat?
I'm good.
No.
In about 10 minutes, she kind of stops serving some. About 10 minutes, she kind of puts the adventurers. You're not staying here, just coming to my establishment, having some thing. Enjoying the day?
Yeah, we spent a night at another one of the taverns, and we're kind of perusing around the town right now.
Oh, you're killing me. And she turns over to her. How can you be with them? I understand groups, but man, that just kind of sits right here. Oh, wait a minute. Back here.
You are preaching to the choir. We had to come in and meet the owner. We hear he's a stellar conversationalist.
Well, considering I'm the owner, and I'm a she, so.
Nameplate is by your hearty companion there, and I point to the lizard.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yes, my companion, definitely. Yes. Old stick tooth has been a wonderful thorn in my side and back and front and everywhere else at times, depending on what we've experienced and traveled.
Well, this is the final destination for adventurers, eh?
Could be.
I hear. Have you been on many adventures?
In my day, yes. I toured the swamps, the woods, the dreadwoods, all over the area.
Well, just so happens we headed.
This unfortunate was a nasty and angry worm. Wyvern. That's what it was. Wyvern, yes. It took this.
Brutal.
Yes.
Yeah. The wyverns will sneak up on you.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Exactly.
We might be heading to the swamps here in a little bit short order, eh, Glastoc? Any advice?
It's true.
Good luck. The swamps are filled with, depending on where you're going, you've got everything from your swamp insects. If you stay clear of the lizard folk, you'll be fine. They're territorial, but these days they're good. Like I said, I have nothing but praise for some of the lizard folk. Some of them are, they're still tribal, but no, most of them are good. If you just talk to them right, they'll be fine.
As she's kind of like going over the morality of the lizard folk, Byrnn is sort of kind of looking at Glastoc, kind of shooting eyes at him, knowing our purpose for being in the swamp is to sort of like get a read on the lizard folk. Byrnn looks at Glastoc for the first time, almost kind of begging him to step in, like conversationally.
And the insects. Oh, the insects are horrible. I mean.
Oh yeah. Well, insects are horrible everywhere.
Getting a good night's sleep is going to be hard.
So, in regards to the lizard folk, Are there separate tribes?
Oh yes, there's several different tribes there. Some of them, like back in the day, there were more misunderstood, and they've got an uneasy alliance with Saltmarsh. But recently, like I said, the tribes. There's several different tribes out there. Some of them are a little bit more, I'd say, tribal is a good word. But some of them,
Barbaric?
barbaric is another term. Yes.
Uncivilized.
But most of them, like I said, I have to say, I've found a heart in some of them. The
Like which ones?
Oh, well, there's certain ones in the Hull marshes that I was saved by one. So
Oh,
a particular druid, actually, a lizard folk druid that resides in the Hull. He several years ago. This was several years ago,
okay.
but they're very territorial. So I mean, it's if you walk, they believe the swamp is all theirs. So
Is there anywhere in particular we should try to avoid?
probably more by the coast. You don't want to go there. There's a lot of the tribes. I know there's an outpost over there somewhere that they generally stick to the west of that in the middle. There's a few other tribes, but again, the tribes are kind of sporadic at areas. I know there's a
yeah.
few of them out there.
Bryn would kind of lean in at this point and sort of give this woman a sort of knowing look, and then she would start to speak in Elvish, like no cute little phrases anymore, just like full Elvish. And she would say in Elvish, "We've heard that there have been rumors, at least, that a few of these people are taking slaves from the quote unquote civilized part of this area here. Have you heard any rumors of that, or do you think that might be true of any of these people around here, these lizard folk?"
I can't confirm or deny anything like that. I haven't heard too many things, but there has been some unheaviness there. And she's speaking Elven back.
Yeah.
So, my friend, Krishaw, is a druid who rescued me. And I visit him on a regular basis. But the last time I was there, he wasn't. His hut was empty and there's no tracks or any clues, and I'm quite worried about him. You say you're going into the swamp soon.
We are.
Maybe I can employ you if I give you a location that you could check to see if you've come across him at all or anything like that. Any information would be appreciated.
Of course. We will definitely give a look once we get into the swamp. Do you suppose, not to be selfish, but do you suppose that if we were to find him, would he be willing to help us?
There's a possibility. If you mention my name, and I'm Kari.
What's your name?
It's Carolee Reston.
Andy Reston.
I'll be popping that into chat for you. So
I'll write it down. Well, thank you very much, dear. We appreciate it.
Give me a minute or two, and let me scrabble something up for you. Just be right back. She kind of goes in the back, and about 5 or 6 minutes later, she kind of comes up with a scroll, like an old waxy map, and it's kind of tied up. It's definitely, there's a layer of wax on it, so it prevents it from getting wet. And I will put that in Roll20 sometime a little bit later.
Hey,
a map, because I'm not that good of prep. Actually, I am, but
you're quite good at prep.
She gives you that map in Roll20.
All right.
It's got a little bit of some lines in it too. But and she'll let you know that over here, where I'm pressing, is where the hut is.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
And little bit later, I'll give you a little bit more information on where that all is too. So when it comes to the region map.
Okay.
So, but as she's kind of going and things of that nature, she's just kind of like, yep. Well, again, if you come across it, mention my name and the lizard boat, and he'll be able to help you. I'm sure of it. He's a good friend of mine.
We will. Thank you for your help. And
Glastoc's just sitting there drinking, looking at the two of them.
yeah,
going,
right. Oh fuck.
Yes,
Yep. As soon as Byrnn says thank you, we will. She switches back to common and is like, so tell you what, this is the best flight I've had in about 5 years or so.
She's like 10 silver. Or actually, no, let me take that. She's like 5 silver and definitely a discount. Because of what you're going to look
Glastoc gives her a gold.
I give her a gold.
You're kind. If he needs some help, you can always bring him back here. He has a safe haven here.
Good to know. Thank you. And as soon as we sort of like separate this conversation, whether she walks away or whatever happens, Byrnn leans down and relays all of that to Glastoc. And then just kind of is sort of in her own little world, enjoying her flight.
It's getting later in the day. Is Glastoc going to pick up the item with Byrnn, or
yes?
Okay. So we're gonna expedite that just slightly. So the day comes, you're moving around town, you're having a date, you end up at the anvil, and the gentleman comes like, "Can I help ya?"
Yeah, I have
for some reason, but I gotta pick it up.
Can I help you? Freedom. Sorry, what?
I have a couple of items that I'm here to pick up.
Name.
Glastoc steel cloak.
Yes, one moment. And gentleman comes back out, and he's got him wrapped. He's like, I gotta say, good craftsmanship here. Excellent. Always good to work on them.
Yep.
And feel free to check.
Okay.
And
okay.
Before you, that comes off, there is a rapier and a short sword.
Oh.
And so Glastoc picks up the rapier and he checks to make sure that what he asked for was done.
And it was.
And he turns around and he hands it to Byrnn.
Ooh.
And he says,
well, Byrnn swishes it, just kind of like,
whoa.
Well, looks good to me.
You have to read what's on the blade first.
Byrnn does.
And it says, may this always strike true in Elvish. Glastoc.
Oh. I literally could cry right now. I'm crying a little bit. Dude, I look
so
at
I think you needed a little upgrade.
Oh. And I kind of Byrnn was sort of just like it's whatever. But then as she reads that, she sort of almost takes another is holding it kind of like with reverence and just sort of looks and is like,
I'm gonna read to you the description of it that I was given. Okay.
Okay.
So the rapier is fine craftsmanship. The design has an organic looking and smooth curves in the design of the hilt. This ancient looking weapon looks like it has seen its days, but is still very sharp. There seems to be a stone or a small piece missing from part of the crossguard area, but most people would never notice.
Oh,
wow.
I love it. I'm like, Glastoc, thank you.
Well, thank you. You saved all of our lives while we were trying to dig out of that cave. So,
and Byrnn just sort of has been making eye contact, but sort of breaks it, and it's just like, this means a lot. I don't remember the last time I got a gift. Thank you.
You're most welcome.
No. And because Byrnn doesn't want to
don't cry because you'll make me cry, and he just he goes and he wraps up the short sword and says, "Let's head back and get with Aviro."
Byrnn kind of like sticks her chin out, and she's like, "I don't remember the last time I cried either." And she puts it away and just kind of like nods, and then we go back.
Okay.
Mm. Oh, that's adorable. Carrie's gonna cry. Bryn is a tough bitch.
Hence, you need to check out the Our Vlad of Glastoc's shopping spree to find out the exact details of how all this came about.
Oh, this was the one that you were gonna show us, but then didn't
Yeah,
because we
because it had a spoiler in it. I had to pull it because it had a spoiler in it.
Yep.
Show us now.
Yes.
No, not yet.
Okay, not
so
now,
as you
but
head
like, you know.
back to the Wicker, it's getting dinner time. Aviro's.
I do while we're walking back. So I'll explain. Because we'll take time. I'll explain to Byrnn where I purchased the rapier from, and basically it's like a fencing school.
Ooh.
So if you ever wanted to learn some fancy moves, they probably could help you.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah.
What's the school called? Is it Cobra Kai?
It is
No,
not Cobra Kai.
I would say it was like the School of Blades or something like that.
It is
but
the School
they're
of
wrong.
Blades. It is located
Yes.
down in the western or the lower part of the kind of the nicer area of town by the
School of Blades.
it is number
It's Python Kai.
41 on the map, so it's further down. And it is an invitational school of blades where there's a lot of trainers and stuff like that. Infamous fighters go there for acrobatic style focused weapons, use of light weapons and mobility. Duelists.
Cool. Well, thank you. Strike fast, strike first, no mercy.
Yep.
Got
Strike
it.
first, strike fast. Yep.
So as you share that story and you make it back, the wicked goat, it's dinner time. Aviro's still upstairs. You eventually go up to get him, and as you go up, blast off.
Okay. So knock on Aviro's door.
The same room.
Or I think it's the same room. That's right. So I just let myself in. Says, Aviro, you ready to eat?
Oh, yes, indeed. It's a good lord. Look at the time.
Yes. But before we go, and I present to Aviro. So let me read the description of this. So this is a elvish looking short sword. It has a dark hilt with a crossguard with a unique shape. It almost looks as if it's made from the bone of some sort of animal or monster may have been used in its construction.
Intertwined with metal.
Yes. And he hands it to you. And he says, if you could please read the inscription.
He does.
And on the blade in Elvish, it says, may I hope you never have to use this.
Oh, Glastoc, this is very kind. Why?
Well, push come to shove, if something gets past Byrnn and I, you need to be able to defend yourself.
I see. Yes, well, thank you. That's very kind. It is gorgeous. It's lovely. Down on the bed. Very.
I have a question.
Yes.
Have we established how old all these characters are? How old is Glastoc? How old is Aviro? I need to know.
I'm like 102 or something like that.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. You know, so.
Okay. How old is Aviro?
Whatever the Elvish equivalent of like 17.
Okay, I'm normal 28.
Oh no, Glastoc's, yeah, Glastoc's 55.
Damn. So, okay.
Wow.
So
he's the team dad.
So if for me for like Elvish, if you just multiply by 10, so he's like 170 or whatever.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah. Well, perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
But he's
actual years.
Very young, very, very young.
Cute.
And maturity, very great.
Perfect. This helps me.
Yeah.
That is.
I could picture this. We start walking out of the room, and Glastoc's looking at the bed with a sword on. It's like, are you? Yeah. It's just closes the door behind us.
Sticking with the points again.
You're just gonna leave.
Very lovely gift. You did all you could.
So I have an important question to ask, since this wasn't mentioned. I'm going to go under the perception that Rocky was left in his box in Brynn's room unattended.
Yes.
He sleeps during the day.
Yes,
Yeah, he was asleep.
He does sleep during the day. I want to make sure that is very clear. Brynn, when you come back to your room, though, you will see a pile of torn pillows, blankets, wood shavings, small material, as a bed in the corner has been made. There also appears to be the corpse of a half-eaten dire rat at the bottom that has been that's been dropped off as a gift.
Yes.
Brynn opens the door.
And then closes it immediately.
Sees this, zips in, closes it immediately, and just kind of like takes a second and takes inventory of that, all of it, and just sort of like sees the dire rat specifically and like goes over and like kind of grabs it by its tail and like holds it up and looks at, is Rocky visible or is he in his box?
And it's locked. You know it's locked, so yeah.
Uh-huh. She goes out to the balcony of her room and just sort of chucks it over the side and like comes back in and sort of knocks, like knock on Rocky's box and is like, thank you for the gift. Is there any part of this bed that is still intact? Like if I were to say
intact. Yeah, there's some,
okay.
You know.
I just sort of lay on what is left of the bed.
So it's
and
more like you
yeah,
took pieces of the cabinet, maybe a few other things, and then made a little nest in the corner,
like a little nest for himself.
for
Okay.
so when he's up.
Is there a pillow-ish still present?
There's one pillow still left. You had 3.
Okay.
Now there's only one.
Perfect. Now there's one. Great. So I lay on the bed and I like put the pillow under my head and I just sort of like lay there and I'm not even like napping really, but I'm like resting.
As you're laying and
God.
look up at the ceiling,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
you see very distinct claw marks and holes in the ceiling. And there's 4 sets of them, as if something was hanging from the ceiling. And there's a little marks like, and you look over on the side about where he would be hanging from. The walls, there's some etch marks. Maybe he was extending his wings out.
Brynn kind of puts her hands behind her head and is just like, oh. Well, there goes the deposit.
Which
And just
hasn't
sort of
been
like
figured out
leans
yet.
back. And
You know, for
Brynn
what
just sort
you've
of
been
reaches,
paying for food, it's probably fine.
Brynn reaches down to her pouch and just sort of feels it and kind of like shakes it so it kind of jingles a little bit. She's like, I'm sure that's more than enough. And then she just sort of like leans back and kind of dozes off a little bit, just sort of relaxing for the rest of the day.
All right. For levity steak evening, you go down for dinner. Is there anything happening during the dinner or early evening of carousing? Is it just kind of a relaxing night and things of that nature? Or is there anything special you're doing in the bar or the tavern or anything else like that? Food eventually will be
Want a
brought up.
burger.
Yep.
Yeah. Make sure Vero gets his cut of the money.
Okay.
I do tell
And
him,
his healing potion.
oh, a healing potion. That's
Healing potion and 480 gold.
I tell him what I learned. I tell him what I learned about dragons at the library.
Whoa,
This
okay.
was from Jeff's and Aviro's after morning session that will also be on the VODs. Vero met some very interesting individuals and had a great time in the library. It was home. It literally
It was home.
Yeah. Yeah, I listened. Oh my God. That was.
And for those of you that
I listened to part of it.
don't know, canon, we have a magical copy clerk is now canon.
Yes.
And what they do is they're there at the library, and when you want to, instead of checking out magical books, but if there's a particular article, they will stand there and magically copy that to parchment for you that you can take out. His name.
So,
Wow.
Yes. No.
Oh,
No.
go ahead,
Jeff,
go ahead,
please,
go ahead.
please,
His name's-
please.
Yeah.
I was. So his name is Kin Ko, K-I-N-N-K-O-E. His name is Kin Ko.
I lost it at that part. I'm sorry.
Kid go.
But so as
Kid go.
you'll get there. So as Aviro is talking about what he learned about the dragons, he even says there was a specific passage that I discovered. It was fascinating, and he uses minor conjuration to conjure a copy of the book, and actually flips to the page, because minor conjuration, anything he sees that weighs less than a certain amount and is small, he can create a copy of. So he creates a copy and then flips through and shows them the actual passage of the book that he read.
Oh my God.
And then he just misses it, and it just
And real quick, a recap of it. What he learned, and he has will have extensive knowledge on any checks that come up. Currently, there is a lot of black dragons in the area, except, let me phrase that, there are 2 prominent black dragons, but they believe that there potentially is more. But there is a theory that there's only one black dragon that's an adult, that it's either an adult or an ancient, but it's going by several different names and several different disguises or something like that. There's even a suspect that that dragon might be polymorphed into something else that's going around town as well. An adult black dragon sat 100 years ago with pirates, potentially looking for something. So that's, and all the refugees came to Saltmarsh about 150 years ago. So there's been a black dragon in this area for a long period of time. Aviro also learned black scaled lizard folk have been known to be associated with black dragons, as when a black dragon is around in the birth of lizard folk and tribes that revered them or basically worship them, the black dragon can modify the eggs, and the color of their scales gets modified because of their surroundings. Sometimes red dragons can do that as well, and they get a little bit more. So if when a dragon influences lizard folk eggs, they take on the color of that. So if you see a black scaled lizard folk, it is very possible that it was from a black dragon's tribe.
Whoa.
didn't we deliver Rocky to a black
We sure
lizard
did.
folk?
We sure did.
Yep.
Good note. Well.
So I had a lovely time at the Temple of Mistress / library. It was wonderful. I plan on going back.
Well, I'm super glad you enjoyed your books, Aviro.
Oh, you have no idea. They had a copy of Elminster's theory on arcane weaving. Do you have any idea? I've never even heard that such a thing existed. And obviously, Elminster, everyone knows how well written Elminster was. But who knew? They have an authentic Elminster here in their library. It was
As Aviro is talking, like, do you have any idea? Byrnn is just saying, nope. And like, it's like, do you have any? It's like, nah, never heard of him.
Glastock's just muttering to himself, Just put the fucking sword on the bed. He didn't even put it on.
Yeah, no, and Brent, it was a lovely gift. And she is looking over at Aviro and is like, "So, do you feel kind of recharged, ready to head into the swamps?"
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Well, I suppose. Yes. I suppose. Yes.
And I kind of look at Aviro and I'm like, "Vero, are you afraid to go into the swamps?" No shame. We're all
Afraid?
friends here. Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm afraid. I'm just pragmatic.
Well, you've got your nice sword that Glastoc got you, eh? Any swamp rats come out and get you, and stick them, right?
Right.
And I look at Aviro and I'm like, Aviro, you ever killed anything before?
No.
Well, hopefully you never will have to.
Agreed.
But
I agree with
that's why I gave you that sword.
Yep.
In case you have to.
And the gesture is not lost. It is greatly appreciated.
Well,
I put my hand on Aviro's shoulder and I'm like, if you have to, you will. You'll be ready.
Let's hope it does not come to that.
Of course.
Speaking of which, I spent all afternoon copying a great load number of spells into my spell book. It was loads of...
perfect. Do any of them go pew pew?
Say again?
I said, do any of them go pew pew? Like,
No, why?
okay. Again, that's the reason why I got you the sword.
Yeah.
I don't understand. You dwarves and
It's
your
okay.
violence.
I kind of look over at Glastoc and I'm like, he'll be ready when the time comes. One of these days.
Let's hope so.
And I kind of like do like I imagine the way we're sitting around the table is that like Byrnn is sitting a little closer to Glastoc than she is to Aviro. And like when he says let's hope so, Byrnn just kind of like goes like clink. Like very, very subtly.
Yep. So as the evening goes, we're going to take our break real quick. We're going to take about 5-10 minute break and then get into the
Hey.
evening activities of some fun and then starting off. So hang on, grab refills, and join us back in about 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah. Hey, look at that. We are back. That was a quick one. So if you're still kind of trying to grab your stuff, don't worry. That's all right. You're fine.
We babble anyway.
We'll take it slow.
No. So the evening starts to unwind. The ale's flowing, the foods, there's joy. There's a bard playing. And we're going to see how well the bard plays tonight. Because, you know,
awesome.
It's a new bard. It's a different bard. Because the other bard, he lost it. So this one, he literally bombed it. And he just got kicked out. So
he lost the game.
This one, it's a brand new bard come in. He did pretty well. Entertained, you know, he was livening up the crew a little bit. People are talking. And so, yeah, it went in good evening. Is there anything else specific in the evening? You're going to get a good night's sleep, and then you're going to wake up in the morning and go heading to the swamp, correct? Is that the plan, or?
That's the plan.
Well, we've got to go by the Adventurers Guild first, though, and see if we can still pick up that one quest to make it look like that's what we're doing.
So you can do that on the way in the morning. So since it's right there, you can go pick that up heading, because you have to head all the way south through, or west, I should say, down through the city. So going a block north or a block east of where you're going in there, picking that up, not a problem at all. So the evening starts to turn. Everyone eventually turns down to their room. It's getting late at night, 11 o'clock. Byrnn, you notice something slide under your door.
Byrnn would kind of
Rocky's at this time eating and munching, and at time, and he kind of looks over and kind of
no. And I kind of rush over to him, and I like take the thing that's I assume in his mouth by now.
Almost about to it. He was sniffing,
so I snatch it away from him.
At it a little bit.
I can't even be mad at him. I take it away from him, and I kind of scritch him under the chin a little bit. And then I look at what it is.
And to find out, you'll have to watch the VODs.
That's my solo session, baby. Let's go. There was an adventure
late at night.
There was a time.
What we are going to pick up is at about 1:40 in the morning. Byrnn, you do something.
Aviro, you would hear knock, knock, knock on your door.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, 1:40.
1:40 a.m.
a.m. So 11. Well, 1, 2, 3.
Probably would have.
Okay, so he's in his meditative trance at the time. So I guess he comes out of it, and mage hand. No, he doesn't mage hand the door. He actually walks over.
Hey, Aviro.
And calls through the door, whispers, "Who is it?"
Aviro, it's Byrnn.
What do you want?
Well, I'd like to come in, first of all.
Why? Why?
Are you naked or something?
Glastoc
Jeez,
just
let
gets
me
up
in.
and opens the door.
Did you wake up?
Oh, did I?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, if she was knocking on the door, I would assume so.
I wouldn't be super loud about it, so I feel like a perception check is in order.
I would say
possibly at disadvantage if you're sleeping. I'm not the DM. I don't know.
It would be a perception check. Yeah.
Well, we know how well those go for me.
But this might change.
Nope, 5.
Yeah, you're asleep. You're asleep.
All right. He opens the door and peeks out. What?
Hey, I'm sorry to wake you up this late at night, Aviro. Is and I kind of peek into the room is Glastoc still asleep?
Yes.
Okay. weird question. Do you have anything that I can like write on, like parchment or paper or ideally I'm looking for like a journal, like an empty book that I could like write in. Is that
quill? I have quill and ink and parchment. I do not have an empty.
that would be great. Quill and ink and parchment. That would be terrific. Do you have that?
Of course I do. What do you think I have?
And I kind of like at this point I sort of like Byrnn is like giddy because she would have searched for other sources of this and probably come up empty and just sort of like almost puts her hands like on Aviro's face and is like, that would be great. Can I have some? Can I have it?
Of course. Can I get it back? Not the parchment, obviously, but the quill and the ink I get back.
Of course. That'd be terrific.
All right. He lets her inside.
I kind of very, very quietly like dip inside and I just sort of wait for Aviro to dig out whatever he's going to give me.
Oh, there's nothing to dig out. It's clearly on the table.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I kind of go over and I gather probably, I would say something in the ballpark of maybe 20 pieces of parchment if he has it, and quill and ink. And then I just sort of like, kind of like stack it up and I'm like, well, thank you. I owe you one. About how much?
No, you owe me 20.
And I kind of like smile, like, how much does something like this cost?
He tells her, I don't. I personally, Jeff doesn't know, so he tells her
I
whatever.
would say it's between copper pieces and silver pieces. So.
Well, I'll pay you back several-fold, Aviro. Thank you very much.
Aviro, your passive perception is pretty good. The one thing that you're noticing is you're seeing a different, there's something not off, but there's something just different. Like she has a purpose, but it's not a deadly purpose. It's like the purpose of she needs to complete a task.
You know, Aviro, he would never deny anyone the opportunity to write something down. Like, he doesn't even question it.
Oh, yeah. Yep. So, what you do now, Byrnn?
I kind of just gather up my stuff and I'm like, well, Aviro, thank you.
Before you go, that is my...
I look over at Glastoc.
Do you know how loud he snores? Now, that is my best quill, so please.
Yeah.
My mother gave me that quill. And
oh, Aviro, I don't want this one then.
It's the only one I have, good lady.
Go to sleep!
And Byrnn goes, fuck off! And then kind of looks at Aviro and is like, be very careful with it. I'll get my own in the morning. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Enjoy.
Yeah, I sure will. Thank you. And
you'll notice how good it flows.
As soon as we start talking about that, I dip out of the room.
Okay.
Yep. Goodbye.
So, let me time out for the go to sleep was after the large because I think I nailed that perfectly in the VOD.
Oh, nice. Yep.
We're like, it was at the time he started in on a conversation.
100%. Perfect. And I bounce.
And you go back to your room. And then the rest of your adventure happens. You'll have to check out.
Adventure is the right word.
That sounds so Ominous.
Adventures
But
in Babysitting.
Yeah.
Rocky Edition.
yeah, Rocky.
Rocky edition. God bless America. There is so much. There's just so
there's
much.
so much. And then you wake up in the morning. And as you wake up in the morning, everyone, you're getting your normal day set. Unfortunately, Byrnn, when you wake up in the morning, you thought Rocky decided to listen to you and go to bed. And for a short period of time, that did happen. Unfortunately, you notice that this time the window was shut, but there's a small scratch on it as his claws were trying to close the window. You're pretty sure he went out again.
Oh my God.
He was better, but the one thing you notice is that you find some shiny, like half ear, like costume jewelry earring outside his box. As if he would.
I kind of like.
If he went on a heist and brought some stuff back and dropped it as he was getting into his box.
Byrnn is just sort of like sleeping and then just sort of like. And then like sees all of this nonsense and then it's just like. It's like kind of like it's just pissed and like punching the wall and just like, and then kind of gets up and looks at this this like jewelry. Can I make any kind of like a perception check of some sort to see how much this is worth?
Investigations to kind of give an idea of the approximate value and stuff
okay.
Things of that nature. And
wow, that's a 19.
It's a piece of costume jewelry. It probably there's no blood or anything off of it. It's not very expensive.
Okay, good.
Probably just a few gold pieces. So it's definitely a kind of costume jewelry. It probably was taken from somewhere.
Okay. Oh my God. And I just kind of like gather it up and I just sort of shake my head and I look at Rocky's container. And after last night and then this freaking morning, I do kind of like, and I like bang on the box. I'm like, oi, get out here, you little shit.
A minute passes.
I bang again.
And the door kind of opens up a little bit.
Rocky! What the hell? I thought we had an understanding, eh? Oh, don't look at me like that. You're smarter than that. Stop it. Stop it. I told you last night. I said, don't go out. You could die. You almost died last night. And I reach over to where the net is still sitting on the ground. And I hold it up. I'm like, doesn't this get through to you?
Steve.
No.
Quiet. This time. And then
it's quiet this time.
The thing, and he kind of goes over and tries to grab the earring from where you're at with his claws, like.
Hey, no! This is mine now. I've earned it.
Mine?
No, mine. Because I've earned it. Because you've been a little shit for the last 2 days.
Give me.
Don't you understand, Rocky? And I kind of like, I have the freaking net in my hand, and I put the jewelry off to the side, and I like hold it. I like scritch him under the chin, and I like kind of like hold under his chin. I'm like, you could die, Rocky.
I'm strong. And he kind of looks back though, and he does look at the burnt mark on his back, and where the ointment
Uh-huh.
you put the ointment on,
That still has
the
ointment on.
that you put on, and he's just like,
Yeah.
Jeez.
I can take care of you only so much, you know?
I take care of
I was
you.
asleep.
Strong. I'm okay.
And oh my God, it's like Iron Giant, bro. I am lost. I put my hand under his chin, and I've kind of had my hand under his chin this whole time, and Byrnn almost sort of like goes slack when he says that. But then like kind of like grips him again and is like, and I want you to get stronger, Rocky.
Strong.
And you're not going to get the chance to do that if some little halfling kills you, eh? Huh? Yeah, I didn't think so. Well, listen. And I kind of like, and then I let him go, and I just sort of like pat him on the cheek, and I'm like, if you get me caught, I'm going to get thrown in prison, eh? And I won't be able to take care of you at all. Then you'll be stuck with Glastoc and Aviro. That's what I thought.
Point.
That's what I thought.
And he puts his finger up, and he kind of goes back, and he runs inside.
Oh my God.
And then a minute or two later, he kind of comes back out, and he goes ding, 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 ding. And he drops 10 platinum pieces in your...
Oh, Jesus Christ.
If I recall, 10 platinum pieces is 100 gold, right?
Yeah,
he drops 100 gold in
Oh
your
my God.
Because you're realizing he's dropping between 50 and 100 gold in various... Yesterday was a pearl worth about 100 gold. The day before it was 50.
Whoa.
So now he dropped 10 platinum. He's like, food.
Yeah, he doesn't have any concept of how much money he's actually giving us.
This is like a 10-year-old going to like the candy store and be like, how much can I get for this many?
It's like $100 bill.
Yes.
at penny and 5-cent candy.
Yes,
he is
dude.
a dragon, and they do hoard, but the thing about it is, you're pretty sure he was given a stipend, an allowance that he's supposed to spend per day for food. And he probably got it wrong. He probably got an idea, or just the aspect of he needs to eat that much, and was told it's to be full and grow, he needs to eat probably between 30 and 50 gold worth of food a day. A pony
day.
Is like 30
wow.
gold. So in that concept, he's kind of like
meat-wise.
He needs to spend about 50 gold a day. And you're going to have to spend about 50 gold a day to feed him. So how long this lasts for, that's the key.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, and how long we can get sides of beef delivered daily here and have nobody get wise is definitely a finite number. Yep. So I would go at this point, I would take my 10 platinum pieces and I would go to probably like a butcher or a stable if the butcher doesn't have enough.
Slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
And
that's why I was asking about the slaughterhouse.
You know that the owner of the Wicked Goat contracted with the slaughterhouse to bring the meat for you for the last 2 days.
Okay.
So he's been the owner has been doing the contracting to get a special delivery here. Now, since you're leaving in the morning, you're gonna have to. Your rooms are gonna be given up, and then you're gonna be, because you don't know how long you're gonna be gone. It could be a few days because it's gonna take you a day.
Right.
Like I said, it's probably gonna be you won't be back for anywhere from 5 to 7 days.
Okay. So I would kind of like take the money that Rocky gave me, and I would go down and meet the boys for breakfast, and then I would try to kind of confer with them.
That's fine. So you're at breakfast time, you're getting your normal stuff. What conversations are you having?
Byrnn looks very tired.
What conversations are you having?
Brynn is eating what I imagine is like a couple scrambled eggs and like coffee and like kind of that's it. But she's sort of doing that thing where people do at breakfast sometimes where they're just like they like were eating, but then it just kind of looks like they're just like staring at their breakfast because they're like so tired. And that's kind of where anybody that comes downstairs would catch Brynn, just sort of staring at the eggs like they have the secrets of the universe, that kind of stare. You know.
Bryn, how did you enjoy the quill? Did you not notice how smooth it flows across,
Yeah.
and the way that it absorbs the ink, and you get a consistent line across the entirety, and it doesn't drip? Did you notice how completely non-drippable that quill is? I can't get over it. I've spent so many hours copying and writing so many times. It's beautiful. I just love every moment spent with that quill. I can't get over it. You know, I believe...
Glastoc's just drinking his coffee, looking at Aviro in amazement that he's still talking this much.
I have it in my hand. I'm like, here you go. Thank you, Aviro.
You're very welcome.
It was sure as shit a quill. Thank you.
Very colorful.
Yeah.
Aviro, I need you to roll me a D20. Just a straight D20.
Say that again. My internet burp. Say that
I need you
again.
to roll me just a straight D20. This is going to be
Straight
a
D20. Copy that.
Oh, God.
High is good, low is bad.
Straight D20. D20.
Oh, boy.
It's a 19.
Your
Ooh.
quill was not chewed on.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Thank God. Oh, God, it's his mother's. We don't know the story.
It's fine. It's
Oh.
perfect. Bryn hit
It is
properly.
fine. Oh, my God. Okay. Phew.
So, please continue the morning.
I'm just kind of like eating my eggs and kind of like listening to Aviro. And normally Glastoc would kind of notice that Bryn is usually pretty polite, at least to Aviro, and is like, oh, yeah.
Very short today.
But very just kind of like, yeah. Like the intervals are wider. Let's say that.
Yeah.
Bryn, did you not sleep well?
No. I did.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
Glastoc takes his coffee, looks at her and goes, "Dragon keep you up?"
No, he was fine. He was perfectly behaved.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah.
You gonna eat your eggs?
Yeah. I've been eating them, and I just kind of like I have not been eating them for about 20 minutes, and I kind of continue to eat them kind of more ferociously than I have been, just to prove a point.
Does Bryn share anything about what happened last night while you're on the road or anything
Nope.
like that?
Nope.
Anything with Rocky?
Eventually, I kind of sigh. And as I'm eating my eggs, and I just kind of like am eating my eggs, and I just kind of like, well, I will admit, Rocky got out.
Glastoc gets closer and really? She takes another drink.
It was.
Oh, dear.
We're gonna need some refills over here.
Yeah. If you got any whiskey for the yeah, thank you. And I just kind of like look at the boys, and I'm like, Rocky got out. Nothing happened. Well, there was a small incident. I had a few errands to run late in the
night. Nothing's open.
Yeah. You're correct. My sabbatical, that's when I'm most comfortable walking around in the night. So I took a walk to get some air, and
I don't think you know what the word
This
spectacle
is when
actually
Glastoc
means.
kind of leans towards Aviro and
Yeah.
says, "She's a thief." Go on.
Yeah.
She's not a leaf. She's a half elf.
Thief.
In any case,
Rogue.
Rocky followed me.
A pickpocket. A safecracker.
Oh,
Hey. Listen now, that's not true. I haven't robbed anybody in
Less than
Boy,
24 hours.
got to be going on about 5 days.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, gee.
Anyway, listen here. I was just taking a walk and apparently Rocky followed me. That said, I didn't know he had followed me until I got back and realized he was gone. So I went back out looking for him. And when I got back, he had the corpse of a half elf in his mouth. Halfling in his
Oh, my
mouth.
God.
So
I beg your pardon.
yeah, he had a
Huh.
halfling in his mouth, a dead one.
Do we know how it died?
Yes. And at this point, Byrnn would sort of, where are we sitting?
You're
like
further
in the
corner, bar. Yeah, you're
good,
yeah, you would've
perfect.
definitely gotten
Byrnn would kind of like call the boys to kind of at least lean in, and it's just sort of be like, it really seemed like somebody saw him and tried to hunt him. And he did not let that happen. And so, and I kind of like at this point, Byrnn sort of pulls out of her little satchel a portion of the net and is like, somebody knows he's here. And I think this means that we should make ourselves scarce. We can do our business with the Adventurers Guild from a less discreet camp outside of town, eh? For at least a little while, I think. And I kind of look at Glastoc and I look at Aviro and I'm like, somebody knows he's here.
Like camping in the woods?
Yes.
Yeah.
Camping in the woods.
Like
And I
without
kinda
real
like-
beds?
Yes,
Yeah.
without a real bed.
Or real bath?
Yeah, well, you can
Oh.
come into town and get a bath if you want.
And a beer, if you really want.
Well, I can brew beer. So.
I forgot about that. Well, yeah, Avira, I'm
Right.
sorry.
Couldn't we just tell him to stay in? That wasn't a joke.
Glastoc leans into Aviro again and goes, "You do know he can open the box up by himself, right?"
Yes.
Avira,
Have we
Okay.
not just asked him to stay in?
Okay,
go
okay.
ahead. Go ahead. Avira.
All right,
Okay.
I will.
Let's go back to when you were a little elf, like
Yes.
50.
A baby. 50.
Did you do
A spry
everything that
50.
your parents told you to do?
Of course I did.
Of course you did.
Of course he did.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, most small children don't.
Well, that's
Sure.
insane.
No, that's normal.
And I kind of at this
I don't
point
think
look at
so.
Glastoc and I look at myself and I look at Aviro and I'm like, maybe that is normal. Like, I mean, like, look at our emotional states. Yeah, Aviro, you are more than welcome to try to convince him to stay in his box.
Will.
Like- Oh, please do. In the meantime, I feel like we should probably leave and camp outside of town. On our way to the swamp, of course. But we've got
Yes.
to stop by the Adventurers Guild to get the quest.
So just for understanding, the
Do Do all of us have to go into the guild to
No,
get the
just one of
quest?
you. And
I
you
don't think
just
so.
indicate that
Mm-mm.
what group you are. It's going to take you about
Yep.
a day of travel to get to the swamp. And then
Okay.
it's going to maybe take about another day to get to the outpost that you're looking at. Within that, like I said, depending on what else you do, that's going to be anywhere from 4 to 7 days, depending on how long you want to be out there. That's definitely probably going to cover up a lot of if anyone's suspecting something's going on. So with that being said,
Okay.
being able, after your mission, coming back to town, you're pretty sure it would most likely be safe to be able to come back if, again, precautions are taken. Now, again, after a few days, there's no sightings or anything like that. You're in the clear. But then when you get back, that's when the Adventures of Babysitting Rocky Edition may come up again, and you'll have to deal with that accordingly. And if Aviro wants to have that conversation with Rocky, by all means, we're going to RP that.
But by all means, that would be a delight.
Yes.
Okay. So I kind of look at the guys and I'm like, well, I mean, I'm fine enough camping outside your town, but I know this is a democracy and not everybody is as comfortable camping as I am. And I kind of like look at Aviro.
We have to vote right this second?
Well, no, you can have breakfast. He's in his box now.
Now.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're leaving, this is not an issue until we return. Lots of things can happen between then and now.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So we can maybe just put a pin in this conversation and then have it again when we come back, eh?
He conjures a dart. I have a dart. Will that, instead of a pin, will that work?
This will work fine, Aviro. Thank you.
It's gone.
Yep. Well, the swamp, hey? Aviro, big man. You know what to do in the swamp, you said? You wanted to go out there so bad? What's your plan of attack to get to the, what is there out there? That tower? Is that right? Is that where we're going?
I think you might misunderstand. It wasn't gung-ho. It was just swamp over mine.
As a marginal victory at best. Well, I mean, you know how to find your mushrooms out there, eh?
Indeed.
Well, I kind of look at Glastoc. I'm like, how about a Glastoc and I work on finding the tower, and on the way there, you find us some mushrooms that we can eat, eh?
Perv.
All right. And I kind of lean in close to Aviro and I'm like, if you find any of the, other kind of mushrooms, that'd be phenomenal as well.
You mean the kind that we're supposed to find?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
The ones for the quest?
Yes. Well, and I just kind of like lean, I'm like, the kind that, expand your knowledge of the world, Aviro. The kind that enlighten
That's
people.
books, my dear. That's not mushrooms. That's books.
Never mind. Never mind. Edible mushrooms would be phenomenal. Any kind you find. If we can salt them and butter them, that counts. Thank you, Aviro.
Salt them and butter them.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Invaluable member of the team. And Byrnn kind of finishes her breakfast and is like, well, we'll be hitting the road, eh?
All righty. Now, one thing that Aviro, I would have. So you're going to go to the Adventures Guild. Would Aviro be? He looked for a map. I'm going with that. In your prep, you would have found a map, trying to find something in the library specifically too, which you would have been able to come up with. You have a map of different things. The one thing you do recognize as you're preparing yourself, because I see just Aviro prepared on the map that I have in Roll20, you do see that you are here in Saltmarsh. A said outpost that you bring on is over here. Each hex to go is about 2 hours plus. So to get to the edge of the swamp, it's going to take about a day of travel based off of that.
Whoa.
Then it's going to be doubled. So it's going to be 4. It's going to take you another day and you could take this path. The lines are kind of like paths a little bit that are kind of carved out a little bit. It's going to take you at least another day to get to the outpost. The hut is actually over. Where did I say was going to be the hut? I think the hut is going to be over in this direction over here, like probably like around in this direction. I'll have a more updated on that. So again, it's going to take you at least 4 hours for all the small squares to get through because of the small land and stuff like that.
Right.
So think about that when you're traveling. The other key thing is, so Saltmarsh is here. At this point right here, just west of Saltmarsh, is the vineyard or vineyard according to the location of the realm you're from. It's on the way, so it's a little bit, probably a little bit off the main road to go, but you are going to potentially go past that if you would like to stop.
I won't stop at the.
Yeah, like I said, it's either on the way there, on the way back. There's definitely quite a bit of availability.
Certainly not on the way there. Certainly not on the way there.
Opportunity missed, but whatever. It's cool.
So you're getting geared up. You're getting the backpack.
If people want to go, by all means, that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Glastoc, you've got the box.
Yes.
It turned into a backpack?
Yes.
You say those magic words and it's turned into a nice backpack.
That security blanket or whatever it is. Yeah.
Remember, it looks like it's just a regular adventurer's backpack. So it goes very unnoticed. The box is a little bit more, draws attention, but the backpack, people they don't take any kind to it. So traveling in the city, you will be no problem. People like I said, they don't recognize it as anything else other than a normal backpack. So.
Nice.
Once we're out of the city, should we let Rocky out so he can stretch his legs and walk and smell the smells?
You do know that as you get out, even though you're leaving the main road, there are adventurers coming and going and merchants coming and going. So it's a little bit on that busyness until you get closer to the swamp.
Okay, once we're in the swamp.
I shake my head at Aviro and I'm like, he's got plenty of room in his box. It's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside.
And it is during the day, so he's pretty much sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Good idea, though. Keep walking.
So
we're walking.
Okay, so
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Before we left the inn, can we have Aviro mend the damage that was done in the room?
Oh, mending.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd probably have to cast it 50 times, but
yeah, it takes a minute to cast each time, but sure.
About an hour that morning. Shit, it's perfect. It's fine.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
Story arc.
Nice.
Done.
Yeah. Suck it. What now? Tracks covered. What? Well done, Jim. Jim,
Come
everybody.
on.
I don't have many moments, but
Oh yeah.
every now and then I
Hawkmere.
come up with one.
Hawkmere.
Yes. Oh.
Real man of genius. Jim, everybody.
That was beautiful. That was so
Well done.
beautiful.
Wow.
And you thought Aviro was worthless.
Snuffed out. Snuffed out.
You mend it all. It looks fine. It goes back to where it was. Everything is looking back. Everything's cleaned up. Everything else, and you realize,
Sorry, Jay.
Oh, no. This.
He relishes
do.
this. He's
I'm
proud of
very
you.
Proud of you. You literally, I have to say, 3 hours of storyline prep of what would happen when you came back, and the chances. I had a whole conversation with the owner about the damage to the room and paying for it or getting kicked out because of all the damage. Even though you're paying free, they would start charging you. This entire concept I was having because it's gone. And evidence of something here now gone, and now it's still confused. They're confused because it's like there's because if you had done damage, they would have clearly thought there was a dangerous animal here. Something.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Well, half a cow,
Fish,
bunch of
and
fish.
damage and
Yeah.
gnawing, it would have been obvious.
Like you do.
You clean. They just don't know. They're like they have no clue. So yeah, applaud. Awesome. You covering the tracks. Wow.
That's the ranger in me coming out, but
Well done.
Love it. Awesome.
What now?
Okay, so as you're going, oh, that was perfect. So you're making your way through the city again. The sounds and the smells. It's morning, and people are getting up, and people are going around, and things are kind of happening. Bustling day, bustling morning. The docks are starting to open up. You hear the seagulls and some of the morning people as you're walking on the main the dock noise of people moving stuff and some ships coming in. You make your way out of the city and you pass the guards from that, and you start heading west around, and you can look over at the lake that kind of comes in and the river that kind of comes in. You're starting to make your way in the first hour or two. There's people kind of following you, and you kind of pass some people. Then some carts are passing you. Pretty standard. Like I said, and after about the second hour, it weeds out a little bit. And by the time you kind of cross over to the next area, about 4 hours, there's only like a handful of group. There's like a group that's, 150 feet ahead of you, and there's one that's about 400 feet behind you. And like I said, it's kind of going, and they're clearly kind of going towards the swamp area. But then as you're getting as the day is kind of going on, one of the groups kind of breaks off, and it seems like there's one other group that's going towards and for levity's sake, you went in, talked to Ina, you got it's an open contract type situation. No problem. You're like, great. Yep. And you're heading off. The day kind of goes. Now, just for fun, we're going to roll. Actually, who would like to roll a D20 to see what happens?
Me.
Let's see if something happens as you're getting closer and closer to the swamp, because random encounters could happen.
Okay. Here we go. 12.
Yeah, you're going, and it's all good.
Nice.
No problems.
You're welcome.
Timeline.
Awesome.
As you are going,
timeline.
As you're going, you see in the distance, and away from you. So, and it's a good further away. Like I said, it's not anything close. But as you are going towards the swamp, you see a group of 7 humanoid individuals leaving the swamp area, as if they were leaving from a different direction, heading probably towards Saltmarsh. As you're and you can kind of look in the distance. Everyone give me a perception check, please.
Oh, Jesus. 10.
Perception.
Dirty 20.
Nine.
Dirty 20.
Wow.
Dirty 20.
Oh, 19.
Whoa,
Woo-hoo.
boys.
So
Nice.
Glastoc and Aviro, you notice that over the course of time, you see one of them start flying in the air about 30 feet for an hour. And like I said, you're going to pass, like, it's going to take you about 2 hours as you're kind of passing in the distance like this. And you see one of them flying, and the one goes down, one gets up and goes flying. And they're bird humanoids, a krukorol, or I can't pronounce it correctly.
Aarakocra. Yeah.
They're going to be the Aarakocra. And then there's some larger ones. And it looks like an adventure party is leaving the swamp and kind of going back in. They look vaguely familiar from your time on the cart that you passed that were escorting a caravan. And they keep their distance. They definitely keep. One of them probably gets a little bit closer to you, but then kind of sticks in, and they just basically you're far away, so it's not something that it would take a long time to get to them or anything like that. But you just kind of pass each other as you're getting closer to the swamp. Just something you notice. Definitely another adventuring group.
Okay. Just walk past them.
Yep,
I mean, we don't want to. Yeah.
They kind of take some. So as you're getting closer,
Don't want to draw any undue attention to the dragon I'm carrying on my back.
Nope, that's a great idea.
So as the evening starts to go, the sunset starts to come, and you can see over the south, the lights shining on the swamp light, and the swamp, the light glistening a little bit. And give me a survival check to see how well you're on the edge of the swamp. You're not in the swamp just yet. How well you find a good spot to camp.
Got a 16.
Yep. A lot of people go in, and there's a spot right there. Yep. Aviro's like, let's go over here, and you're like, no. The people use this spot.
Nope.
This is the camping grounds before you go in.
I kind of like put my hand down on what was a campfire last time. Like, it's still warm, Aviro.
And as you are
It's adorable.
getting your camp set up, evening, is Aviro putting up his tent?
Oh, yeah. So I ritually unseen servant who puts my tent up for me. Absolutely.
And as the night comes, you hear a click.
Huh?
Actually, the backpack sitting. Let me take that back. When you set up camp, do you say the magic words to bring it to a box, or do you just leave it as a backpack?
Nope, just leave it as a backpack. He can open it up himself.
As the night starts to go, you hear some draconic words, and suddenly the backpack mystically turns, and it turns into a box. And then you hear a click,
Nice.
as if it's unclicking. You hear the doors going, and slowly Rocky comes out.
Hey.
And he kind of sits there for a second, looking, and he sees Aviro and Glastoc, and he's kind of taking in his surroundings, and he's kind of looking up, like, oh, there's sky, and he's looking around, like, oh, we're outside, and he's just sniffing the air, and he's smelling the swamp air. He's like, it is.
Oh, as soon as I see his eyes light up, I go over to him. Oh my God! And I'm like, oh, I said, Rocky, can you fly up?
Yes. In common.
Okay. Oh my God, that's adorable. I said, well, if you were out and about here, if you want to explore, you can.
He looks
But
he looks at Glastoc and he looks at back.
you can. But don't kill anything that has that walks on two legs, eh? And don't get caught. Right?
He thinks, he's pondering. Eat 4 legs.
Yes. Anything with 4 legs. Yep.
And he blends into
I
the
kinda, like,
night.
watch him.
As it starts
Yep.
getting night, he just kind of blends in.
Yep. And I kind of look at the boys. I'm like, he's growing up so fast.
Actually, they take thousands of years.
Yeah.
He's a baby and he can speak common. How much language could you speak when you were like 10 weeks old, eh?
Well, he's also a dragon. I'm an elf. There's a complete difference.
Sure is. And I look over at Glastoc and I kind of shrug and roll my eyes.
Aviro, one thing I will add. In your research,
Yeah.
it's very unusual. It's not very unusual. It's unusual for a dragon to learn so quickly.
Oh.
We're helping him.
He definitely, dragons are intelligent and learn, but he's learning exponentially out of the gate.
Okay.
Like language, his language skills and things of that nature is definitely, there's some stuff. So
It's because I've been tutoring him.
And Byrnn is so tired she feels sick to her stomach. Like it's that level of tired. And when Aviro says because I'm tutoring him, she just sort of like slow, like Stewie Griffin head turn over to him. And that's that.
and that is the perfect spot to end tonight's game.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God.
Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you for everyone who will watch this later on. We appreciate you for this. This was awesome. Thank you so much. We will be adding the VODs and adding all those little hidden Easter eggs of adventures. I'm also in the process of working on Rocky's adventures.
Oh, great.
Goodness. Who's going to be narrating those,
I'm
Jay?
hoping you will be, Carrie. Once I write them all
I
out
do
with
that.
some people to help me flush out what's going to happen in those adventures, we'll have some of that.
Ooh, all right. Awesome.
So, let's go around, please. Who are you? Where can we find you? All the stuff you're doing. Jim.
So yeah, I'm Jim, Hawkmere1 on Twitter. Obviously, you can find me here on Wednesdays. And in the hopefully near future, I'll be playing again with Jay on some more Shadowport adventures in the Star Wars universe. And that's it for right now.
Very cool. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
I'm Jeff, and I'm the boring one who doesn't have social media or
No,
anything
Jeff,
else.
there is nothing boring about you. Trust me,
Agreed
buddy.
completely. You stop that. Stop that right now.
I am not on social media, and I don't play in any other games that are broadcast. So you can find me here on Wednesday nights.
Who knows? That may change eventually. But yes, thank you for being here.
You never know.
Oh, it means that I'm exclusive to this. There you go.
Exclusive.
There you go.
Nice.
Currently I exclusively play for the Emporium for the Way of Game.
Yes.
You're darn right.
Excellent.
Very well. You're gonna find more games in the near future, my man.
Carrie, please share.
I play on Monday nights. Also, I mean, other than this glorious game, of course, I play on Monday nights over on Mini Terrain Domain. It's the Candlekeep Mysteries, which which is also, pretty fun. On Wednesdays, about one Wednesday a month, I play on Big Bearded Nerd. We play Call of Cthulhu over there. And then about one Saturday, usually a month, I play over on another channel called Dice Tales Live. And we also play some 5e. It's pretty great.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm Jay, also known as Neopet3 on the socials. You can find me here on Wednesdays, every other Wednesday. On Tuesdays, I am on MTD, running our fraternal twin game, I call, Legends of Saltmarsh on MTD, with a wonderful additional cast of players that have fun.
Not as wonderful as us, though.
Yes, there's although
Of course not.
I technically as a parent I shouldn't choose my children, but yeah.
Okay.
But there might be some rivalries coming up soon, so there might be some spoiling rivalries between that. Who knows? Next week will be our session on Tuesday. We're looking at getting back season 2 of Shadowport Adventures. We're still trying to figure out. There's some changes that are coming that are good, that we're looking at modifying some stuff. We might be on another channel for a little while. We're looking at March, maybe April, depending on how timing goes on. So we'll keep you updated. Watch for the socials. Don't forget to subscribe to Important for the Wayward Gamer, or the YouTube channel as much as you can. We're looking for eventually getting back to affiliate, but you know what? Anything you can do to lurk is greatly appreciated. Additionally, I will be found on Saturdays on the Gilding Lights channel for a 5e D&D campaign.
Hey, congratulations,
For February
Jay.
and March. We're doing a short 8-episode storyline and for a quick season, and we're going to see how that goes, but it's on the Gilding Light channel, so we'll have more information, so keep posted on that. I will be playing a character in
Yes.
5e. So
That's always a good news. Nice.
and there is also some more news coming up, that some more projects I'm involved in that will be happening in March. But that's still in the development phase, so we'll kind of see how that is. And I will be at GaryCon. I've decided I'm going to GaryCon and I'm going to meet a whole bunch of friends.
Woo!
So find me there. Unfortunately, I was too late to run a game, so I'm going to be playing in some and meeting a whole bunch of you people. So thank you so much. Again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching us on the VODs if you're watching it there. And we appreciate you. And the thing to remember, please be kind and don't be a jerk.
Yes.
That's what we ask.
I love it. Yes,
With
dude.
that, we are going to say good night and take care.
Bye.
Enjoy.
Good night.